This is Grow Your Business with Peter Switzer.
Hello and welcome to Grow Your Business. I'm Peter Switzer and this is a program created by business owners for business owners. Grow Your Business will get inside the heads of successful entrepreneurs and business experts so you can learn from their success. We're also here to help, so if you have a pressing business question, send it to yourbusiness@skynews.com.au. My first guests are two of Australia's self-storage kings and owners of their eponymous company. With facilities throughout Australia and New Zealand, David Scanlen and Michael Tate have created a business fit for royalty. Of course, we're talking about Storage King. David and Michael, thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Pete.
David, when did the idea come for you two guys to kick off Storage King?
In 1998, Michael and I were running then the largest storage company in Australia, and we sprung on an idea that we could leave and created our own brand. And since then we've built and built and built.
Did you time it right? Was it a time when Australia was really looking for the storage alternative? Once upon a time, we all had garages, so the garages were filled with stuff and a car couldn't get in?
They were, and also the industry was crying out for assistance. The independent operators were crying out for someone to come and save them from the competitive threats of the larger organisations. So that's what we did with them.
Michael, what did you think was going to be your competitive advantage? Because great businesses always have something that makes them stand out from the crowd. What was your competitive advantage?
Well, in those early days, it was a very fragmented marketplace. So there was a heap of self-storage operators, but mainly mum-and-pop operators. And our advantage, having come out of a big operator as the staff there, was to start our own brand by pulling together a whole bunch of independent operators and marketing ourselves under the one banner and training together and all the advantages that go with economies of scale, really. That was our initial advantage. And we had a good brand name called Storage King that the independents liked, and that's how it all kicked off, and it's been good ever since. Did you
look at what was prevailing in the industry, David, and say, well, if we do it better and we have the right people on board, and did you franchise, was it franchised in those days?
Legally speaking, it's franchise, but we license operators to trade under the brand, and not in a manner unlike hotels, where the hotel brand is licensed to someone else to use.
But what was you think, the standout difference that made storage? The name was great. Clearly,
we had a good name where the product went before anything else, Storage King, and it was at a time when Burger King were coming into the country.
A good point.
We also are pioneers in structuring the storage product with owners licensed to trade under the brand. No one else has been able to do that successfully. So we were first to market in the Australasian market with that structure, and I guess we got going so quickly, so soon, it left a vapour behind us that no one else could respond to.
Was there anything sort of technically that you did better than the rivals, that also so customers saw this as a much easier and better experience? Oh,
look, we believe we did. In the early days there, the market was done on ledger systems, on ledger card systems in a lot of the self-storage marketplaces. There wasn't the systems or training that's evident today, and the sophistication in the management side of the business. And people were making mistakes not only in the trading side but in site selection, picking of the right real estate, for instance. People were picking real estate properties that were in poorly visible locations, and all of that made it much harder. So what we brought to the table in those early days was a level of sophistication and analysis that hadn't really taken place in the market up till that point.
David, when you start bringing independents in and getting them to operate under the one name, you actually have to create great systems to manage those people, but also keep them inspired. What were the tricks of the trade that you learned either on the job, or did you actually know how to do this when you first kicked it off?
Well, initially it was like herding cats. It's very difficult.
Was it really?
Yeah. But the success we enjoy today comes from the trust that we generated with those people. We delivered on our promises, absolutely, and progressively as these people became comfortable that we were delivering, they would become closer to us and allow us more into their businesses, and that was when we really succeeded, because we were able to drive excellence in returns that were otherwise never evident.
Well, Michael, one of the things about franchising is that people come along and they then change and they're forced to follow the system. Did you guys actually insist that kind of thing with your independence?
Look, early on it was reasonably, as Dave quite rightly points out, more of a licensing structure, where those operators that were in existence before they even came to Storage King were allowed to continue to operate their storage facilities much in the same way as they previously did. Except to say that they had to brand the buildings, and the signage had to be up to scratch, and the presentation of the facility, but they're mostly cosmetic things. A lot of the management systems had more to do with training and understanding just how we like to make things work at the storage facility. And most of them were quite welcoming of that input on our part, so it wasn't all that difficult a process.
But did you have to train for attitude?
Yeah, and as Dave quite rightly points out, that the trust was the biggest factor there. Once there was trust built from the franchisee base, they believed in you, they believed in the vision of growth that you had for the brand. Once that was evident, then their attendance at training sessions, at conferences and workshops started to lift. And once that happens and you get an element of togetherness and team play in the group, where people are proud to stand behind the brand. Once that happens, it becomes a bit of the momentum starts to build. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
But okay, you got the product right, you got the people right. How did you build the brand? Like, you know, everyone wants to build their brand. How did you guys get Storage King out there? Was it a big gamble on the marketing program and it worked?
There are gambles everywhere, but we were very measured in our approach. Understanding your business and understanding your competitors and how they operate and where their weaknesses are is one key to success.
So you actually analyse the weaknesses of your rivals?
We are analytical overload in our business.
Yeah.
That allows you to manage the errors out of your business. So we're very much about doing that.
But how did you get Storage King out? Like, why are you on this program today? Okay, we know the business has grown, but the name is out there. Did you invest a lot in radio advertising, newspaper advertising, public relations?
It's a very difficult thing just to create a brand from nothing and to get a name going. In the early stages, it was visual with signage, but as time went on, we did some TV. Obviously, TV is expensive, TV advertising. But we did it in smart little sections throughout the year. And basically since about 2000, we've been running a reasonably consistent radio campaign, because it's slightly more affordable than television, that basically goes sort of 10 months a year constantly. So that's the way you get into the people's psyche a little. And we believe the name itself is quite an easy to remember name. And once you've seen it around, the recall's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a name that's a USP. About a minute to go, mate. Biggest mistake and what you learnt from it? Tough question, I know.
Yes, ask my mother.
Well, I guess the answer is not many, because you couldn't instantly remember it.
No, I suppose not. And that follows on about Michael and my approach. We're risk averse, and we will take small steps to achieve the ultimate goal that we've achieved now. We always wanted to be the largest operator in Australasia, but taking 12 years has been fine. We don't want to do it any quicker.
No, well, you guys have done a great job, and thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
After the break, we get the lowdown on low-cost marketing strategies from 3 successful and very different business owners on how to boost your business and your brand.